Welcome back to the WOWIO Author Showcase here on the PopGalaxy channel. I'm your host, Jacob Morris. We have Mackie Burt, and joining us, her producing partner, Barry Tropp. Barry, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jacob. Well done.
What makes the book so special is because of your involvement. Now, we talked a lot about the history, coming from Jersey, writing the novel, writing the letter to you, getting the introduction. And so now she has this book. Now, it's not quite finished, and let's have the people understand where you come in and what a producer does for a young author.
Okay, well, meeting Mackie was a really wonderful and pivotal moment in my career, in my life, because I had come off from doing a kids franchise called Roxy Hunter that aired on Nickelodeon, and I had learned about branding entertainment. And so when I met Mackie for the first time in 2010, she and her mom came out, this really adorable little 15-year-old girl. I set her up on some meetings. We set her up an acting coach for 2 weeks, and that 2 weeks really changed her life. You know, she had kept in touch with us and with me, and you know, her mom had said to me, "Oh, well, you know, Mackie wrote a book," and I thought to myself, "Oh, that's so how you know, that's lovely." And I'm thinking, you know, it says, you know, "See Mackie run, Mackie runs fast," you know, and
he has so much confidence.
So much confidence.
It's like where are the pictures? Right?
Exactly. Well, yeah. Well, I thought like maybe I could add the pictures, and that's me producing. But then I got the book, and I read the book, and I called her mom. And I was like, I gotta tell you that this is one of the most brilliant conceptual ideas that I've ever read and come across. I was like, but it needs a tremendous amount of work. We met and we had dinner, and I talked out some very big portions of the book. And I said, this is where the problems are, this is what needs to be worked on. And then I would also go, but this part is brilliant, this part is great, this part is amazing. She just sat there and she kind of wrote down notes.
In our little Mexican
restaurant. She's like writing notes on a napkin, and I'm like, you understand what I'm saying? She's like, I got you. Right. I got you. You know, so we have a lovely dinner, like a 2-hour dinner, and I was like, okay, well, we'll start to work, you know. And so she came in, and we started reading the book, and we probably took a few weeks just to get through the first 10 pages or so, or 15 pages.
Yeah.
But the rewriting, what she was sending me, far surpassed anything that I ever thought she was capable. And I knew within the first week that we have something, like this kid's that good.
You know, Barry did the one thing that I think probably every writer needs, and it's the best thing you could have, is he was a reader. And he was somebody that was consistently always involved, always giving me feedback. And for me, that was the biggest thing that you could have done. Because you need somebody sitting there and being like, that doesn't make sense, or where are you going with this?
It's been really wonderful. She's just remarkable.
This is the only time he's nice to me.
You know,
and you have it on camera.
Exactly,
I know, I've got it forever.
But, you know, it's always fun because we do work so much and we spend so much time that I always try to keep it light and fun and laughing. And
you're working with a teenager.
Because you're working with a teenager, right. You know. Right. But we're great friends and business partners and you know, things all happen for a reason, and you meet people for a reason, and it's been just a wonderful partnership.
You have this, you know, almost completed novel, or it is completed novel, to Carthay Circle Publishing, you know, and so where does the producer hat kind of, you know, kick in?
The CEO of WOWIO, Brian Altounian, and I are old friends, and I knew that he was in this space. When Mackie and I decided that, well, rather, Mackie said to me, you know, let's look at eBook, and I did some research into it, and it's very easy to publish an ebook, but it's very hard to market an ebook. So I called Brian. So we sat down and had a coffee, and you know, 2 hours later, I think he had a light bulb go over his head about the future of WOWIO and Carthay Circle Publishing, and I had a light bulb go over my head about doing this with Brian. So it kind of was the right project at the right time with the right author. You know, to take Above into the traditional publishing space, you know, it's like putting a movie out there now, which is, you know, it would come out and then you would hope that it would find an audience. But what's exciting about working with WOWIO is the brand building of not just Above, but of Mackie and her career, because her career and building her career feeds the book, and the book feeds her. So it's just the perfect synergy of two companies coming together, because what WOWIO and Carthay Circle Publishing can do for us with Above, and Mackie being all of 19 years old and of the internet generation, it's the perfect book to launch Carthay Circle Publishing and to help build the WOWIO brand.
You know, I've always thought the cool thing about using the ebooks with Above and my platform is that my generation is on the computer all the time. So there's something very, you know, it synchronizes really well to take a book by a teenager and use all the platforms and use an online kind of setting that I think it fits very nicely.
Yeah, really does. And again, it's, you know, it's being in a space where we have a lot more creative freedom. That's the wonderful thing, you know. Going into the studio system with a film or going into the publishing space with a book, you're limited to the creative input. You know, after, it's funny, you write the book, but then after you sell it, you know, they're gonna kind of move it the way they want to move it. And what's wonderful about working here is that together we can create the best platforms for the book.
When can we expect the debut novel of the Above series?
Above will be available early March of 2013. It's going to be a series of novels, probably four is what we decided.
4 series.
And so we'll have...
Unless the muses tell you otherwise, and it's 5 or 6.
Yeah, we'll see though. That's a lot of work. You'll see me then when I'm 50 and I've got gray hair.
Yeah, well, you know what, it will still work for Above.
Yeah.
But the second book of the Above series is called Collide, and that is going to be out for Christmas of 2013. And then at some point we'll sit down and start to talk about writing book 3 and book 4.
Right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Jacob.
And Mackie.